The main thing that's going to, the main tools you have to develop your mount top position is from the waist down. The most important thing in mount is your feet. Like that's the number one thing. And then after feet, we go knees and hips. Your upper body does almost very little. Your upper body's just there to attack. Okay, then he's going to push on my knees. From a low mount, if you press your hips in, there's not a lot of threat, but you can just pluck it off. And then into my hips, okay? And if I make a mistake of putting my weight on my knees like this and being in a low posture, kind of like this, which is not a good position, I'm either always going to be here, okay, or here, not in between. In between, he can put his hands on my hips and just push me up and then pull guard, which is a super common, very explosive escape, right? So when I'm here, that first line of defense, when he puts his hands on my hips, is for me to relax and put my weight into it. And then same thing, just like we did with that swim, as I feel him push, I'll just kind of push one side at a time. So I drop my right hip down, drop my left hip down. Ready goes to push. And I'm just letting my hip bones do the work there, okay? Let's just go to our mount position here, right? And we're kind of 50-50 now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise one leg up and drop the other leg down. And now instead of 50-50, I go 90-10, right? Go the other side, 90-10. That's a universal sprawl, okay? So what that looks like in practice, Justin's on his back. I'm going to get on top. And I'm going to let him wrap up both my arms so he can have double overhooks. And I'm just going to hug his shoulders like this so I don't hurt my wrists, right? And now, some of you have started to do this, like when they go to bridge, if he goes to bridge, I can grapevine like that. And that can help you a little bit keep from getting bridge. The problem with that is that's going to develop a bad habit, because what will happen, he goes to bridge, I grapevine, now he'll straighten out a leg, and now he's out. So the tool you're going to run into the most against other jiu-jitsu players, the way they're going to escape mount most often is elbow knee escape. And if he gets one leg flattened in the middle, he can easily get out, because my knees are super light. Right, he goes to bridge, I grapevine, he gets a look out, yeah, it's so easy. And now you're fighting on a half guard. So we don't want to do that. Instead, I do a universal sprawl. So as I feel him go to bridge, I drop my left hip and raise my right foot up. And just drop that down. And when he goes back, I go to neutral. He goes to bridge the other way. So go this way again, slow.
Which way?
To my right. See my left foot, my calf is up against his thigh. That's what we call a shadow hook, right? So if he tries to straighten that leg out, I'm shadowing it, right? My right toe is up and my leg is super light. So all my weight right now is on Justin's right hip. So there's no way he's going to roll me, right? Make sense? So I'll switch with Justin. The smaller they are, the more they have to exaggerate the motion. So I've done this with little kids at my seminar that are real tiny. And basically, their hips have to fall off to the side, but they can still prevent me from rolling, right? So if I'm a huge, strong guy, and I go to roll Justin this way, drops this hip down, and this foot becomes very light, almost like he wants his toes to barely be touching the mat. That's it. Now, if he's real small, go back. We're going to do the exact same thing. We'll go slow. But bring your right hip almost like you're going to fall off the mat. Yeah, it looks like that. It's like a backpack on my right side. And there's nothing I can do to roll him that way. Okay? Very important we go back to neutral. Because even if I'm not that bright, I'm going to realize in a second that that's the best way to roll him. Because all his weight's right there, right? So we'll go back to neutral. Now I go the other way. Yes. Back to neutral. Wrestlers will say, they have a term for it too, they'll go laces to laces, right? Because you're wearing shoes. So what that means is this. And it's simple, right? And it does connect me to Justin. So if he goes to roll me and I go here, right, that can work. But the problem is when we add the elbow knee escape, because then he straightens his leg out, and now all of a sudden I'm in half guard. And so against jiu-jitsu, it's a bad habit. the number one escape, like I said, that good jiu-jitsu players have is that elbow knee escape. So that's what we're doing is we're just working a hip switch, and then my legs are shadowing Justin's. Basically what's happening is as he goes to roll or move, you see how my calf is up against his thigh? So if he goes to straighten a leg or get a leg out, I kind of shadow him and I follow him. And I stay connected in here, right? Yeah. And the moment I grapevine, then I can no longer do that. He could just kick his leg free. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for frequent updates because we're updating this every week. And make sure you comment and like and share our videos. We appreciate it, and we definitely try and respond to all the comments. And if you like what we're doing and you like the material, check out SBG University, SBGU, and you're going to see a ton more in much greater depth than what you see here on YouTube. Thank you very much.